Hey, welcome back, everybody. You know what I've always loved about these careers? In the moment, the job consumes everything. The tempo, the responsibility, that sense of purpose. For the majority of our careers, the future feels distant, almost invisible. Then one day, the horizon changes perspective. The next chapter stops being theoretical. It becomes real. And then it starts. What comes next? What do I want to do? Who am I outside of this career? For a lot of us, we never thought about what next until it was on top of us. Because, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, when you're in it, it feels strange to imagine a world where you're not in it. But that's exactly what you should be doing. Constantly assessing your skills and evaluating if you're ready for what comes next. In the civilian world, capability still matters. Character still matters. Grit still matters. But what accelerates opportunity is who knows your value. Who's willing to stand behind your name? And who's willing to speak it in rooms and meetings that you're not in? Because transition, it's not just about what you've done. It's about how you prepare others to understand what you can do next. And sometimes the most powerful shifts is not internal. It's in who you choose to bring with you as you step into the next season of your life. Someone who doesn't just advise you, but someone who strengthens your footing as you climb. So with that, let's get into round 96 of the tactical transition tips. This time the topic is turning a contact from mentor to advocate for the close range group. Those of you looking at your transition right away or you're less than a year out, elevate a contact to an asset. Because one true advocate can open doors that dozens of applications never will. For the medium range group, those of you looking at your transition in 5 years or so, define your specific ask of an advocate. Clarity creates momentum, and it invites the right support. And for the long range group, those of you just starting your careers, you've got at least a decade before your transition. Align yourself with true impact. Your future success starts with who and what you choose to learn from today. Close range group. You don't have time to waste. You're close, and the countdown is on. Whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year, or your last day is around the corner. The reality is the same. The runway's short, and your plane is coming in for a landing. On this side of the fence is your world right now. The world that you're comfortable in, where performance matters, and excuses never survive. But now, you're going to be stepping into a world on the other side of the fence. An environment where the rules shift, where your expertise and your abilities don't automatically announce themselves, where people don't know how you performed or what operations you've led. And the worst part, you don't have years to let your reputation build organically. This is where intentionality becomes your purpose. Right now, you need to promote one contact into an advocate. Somebody who already knows you, ideally respects you, and knows your work ethic, knows what attributes you bring to the table. Someone who already believes in you and would have no hesitation putting their reputation behind endorsing you. And let me be clear, this isn't something you want to hope they'll do. You need to ask, but you need to ask clearly, professionally, and with integrity. This isn't the, hey man, I need a job, can you get me in? I'm willing to bet there's someone you used to work with who's moved on to some type of civilian career that could be a benefit to you. That person you'd work directly with who knows how you perform. And more importantly, the kind of person that you are. And let's be real. All of us have had people ask us, hey, can you put in a good word for me? but you know damn well you didn't want that person working with your team. So you need to be selective in who you reach out to. Yes, it could be somebody that you've fallen out of regular contact with. That's okay, as long as you knock on the door with humility. Remember, and as harsh as this sounds, you need them, they don't necessarily need you. But, on the other hand, we're all human. They've also lost contact with you because they've moved on. They're busy with their new life and their new job. So when you reach out, say something like, hey, I'm approaching my transition. I'd like to ask if you'd be willing to advocate for me as I pursue roles in insert whatever your target area is. On the other hand, if you have somebody that you have a more personal relationship, I still recommend that you ask in a very purposeful manner, in a way that feels right based on your past relationship. However, and again, this is most important, it's not just saying, hey, I need a job. You have to be direct as to what you need and want from them. This isn't you begging, but you are leading the conversation. You're being humble. You're not expecting or demanding anything. You're asking for their assistance. And something else to consider? Please come prepared. Know what you want to do. If you want to get in with their company, know things about their company. Know what their company does. Know where they're located. Have some idea of how your skill set might fit in with their company. Have your resume ready. Have a couple sentences of a synopsis of who you are and what you bring to the table. You can't assume that they're going to remember every detail about your career and your accomplishments. You need to give them the tools to sell you. Also, you're going to need to get it out of your head about being uncomfortable initiating this conversation. You're not being a burden. Even if you didn't have the best relationship when you work together, if you come with humility and you're genuine, they're likely not going to mind advocating for you. Because think about it. If their company has a role and you'd be a good fit for it, it's a win-win for both of you. Now, once the connection is back in place, maintain it. If you apply somewhere else, be honest with them. Let them know. If you get an interview, or even better, a job offer from some other company, don't just ghost them. Imagine if it were you helping someone and they did that to you. This moment of your transition is very important. There's no reset button. You don't want to walk into civilian life hoping that someone sees you. Hope is not a transition strategy. Your objective right now, identify your advocate and get them working for you. Because the right voice speaking your name at the right time can change your trajectory faster than any resume tweak or LinkedIn post. You're close. Lean in. Make the move. And remember, this is just one more moment to execute an important operation. Let's be honest. We're hard on our sunglasses, especially first responders and military members. They get dropped, scratched, left on the dash, or crushed in our gear bags. Frontline Optics gives you the same premium quality and eye protection without the high price tag. Sure, you can spend big money on the designer brands, but why should you? From polarized UV 400 lenses to anti-reflective and water-repellent coatings, every pair of Frontline Optics glasses is built to handle the demands of the job. And here's the best part. When life happens and they break, Frontline Optics has a no questions asked replacement program, even for prescription glasses. If that's not enough, Frontline Optics was founded by a firefighter, and a portion of every sale supports the First Responders Children's Foundation, helping the families of those who gave everything. If you're looking for sunglasses that look good, are built tough, and that come from a company that gives back, visit frontlineoptics.com and use the promo code TRANSITION10 to get 10% off your purchase. Frontline Optics, from a first responder for the front lines. Medium Range Group. You're not stepping out tomorrow. You've got several years left. And that can feel like a comfort to you. Time feels like a cushion, but you can't fall into that trap. This window of your career is probably the most underestimated phase of the entire transition journey. We're all natural procrastinators. If it's not due today, we'll put it off. And then, like when every deadline comes due, we rush, hoping the clock doesn't run out. You don't have to be like everyone. You have time. Don't tell yourself, I'll start networking when I'm closer, or I'll figure out my plan later. Waiting doesn't build career momentum. Discipline does. Strategy does. Clarity does. You already have mentors. You already have leaders and peers who respect what you do. But now is when you begin turning passive relationships into purposeful ones. Pay attention to your peers, especially the ones who are about to transition out, the ones who are moving on to careers that interest you. Also, if there's already somebody who's transitioned and they're working in a position that can be beneficial to you in a few years, cultivate that relationship. Regardless who it is, you have to start defining your ask right now so that when your time does come, you're not scrambling to translate your value. So let's talk about that ask. Right now, your mission is to build clarity around the support who will eventually help you. Not simple statements like, I want to succeed after I retire. You need to define your purpose statement. What do you want when you transition, and where do you want to go? That's what prepares people to sponsor, not just advise you. Don't get me wrong, advice is good. Being given information definitely helps you. But it helps more if someone is marketing and working to put you in the situation. You have to remember, a greater majority of new positions are already filled when the job posting comes out. You might not like it, but it's the reality. The private conversations that matter, they happen long before you submit your resume. You don't build influence after your transition. You need to build it while you still operate in this career. So once you have your purpose defined, over the next few years, find the opportunities to show your advocates how you'd perform in that space that you want to get to. Like I said before, this is not about being hopeful. This is about being purposeful. You need to tell someone exactly how to help you when the time comes. Now, this next piece is equally important though. Start preparing today to operate in the civilian world. Learn their SOPs on the civilian side. Learn to speak and act like they do. You didn't run a squad. You led a team. You managed personnel. You directed operational objectives. And you did all this and performed under pressure. Learn to incorporate the buzzwords of the civilian world, ensuring compliance and mitigating risk. Remember, you didn't work patrol. You provided crisis response, community engagement, and public safety decision-making in dynamic environments. Start practicing translating your skills today, so when it counts, when you're in front of that hiring manager, you're not stumbling for words. The last thing, over these last few years, stay visible. Volunteer for assignments that best prepare you for your next life. Go to events or conferences in the industry that you're interested in. By putting yourself in new situations, you never know who you'll meet, both in your current career and on the civilian side. You never know. Someone you meet tomorrow could get you that job in 5 years. You have time, but time is only leverage if you use it. Because when your day comes, you don't want to walk into a new world hoping someone understands who you are. You want them already waiting for you. Each of us is on the grind. It's that early alarm, the extra rep, the drive that doesn't quit. Grind, spelled GRND, is the mindset that pushes you to go further when most people stop. Founded by a former Army Ranger, Grind Activewear is built on one simple mission: give 100% and then some more. Every piece of clothing is functional, durable, and made for people who outwork the rest. On the field, in the gym, or wherever you're building your next lane. This isn't just clothing. It's commitment woven into fabric, rooted in American grit and culture. Because when you wear Grind, you're not just wearing a logo. You're representing effort, discipline, and purpose. Check out thegrindcollective.com, thegrndcollective.com, and use the promo code TRANSITION15 for 15% off your order. You're already on the grind. Now wear it. Long Range Group. You youngsters, fresh into your careers. Everything feels forward-paced, mission-focused. And you're still learning who you are. Right now, transition feels like a galaxy far, far away. Something distant. Something you'll deal with someday. But here's Mr. Glass Half Empty. Someday comes faster than you think. This phase of your career is not about knowing where you're going. It's about building a life where you can go anywhere when the time comes. Right now, your job is to align yourself with true impact. That means paying attention to who you respect, who leads with character, who has influence, and who makes decisions that matter. You're identifying your mentors. You're observing the field. You're watching how real leadership operates, how decisions get made, and who carries clout because of competence, integrity, and consistency. Observe senior people around you, across your entire organization, not just your immediate command. Look for those who solve problems without ego, those who stay steady when others lose it. People that are the go-to person, not because they have rank, but because they have knowledge. Those are the people who become senior commanders, chiefs, agency directors, as well as civilian executives. Your long game starts with curiosity and intention. Ask questions. Pay attention in meetings, even when the topic feels above your head or out of your lane. Learn how budgets work. Learn how decisions are approved in your organization. Learn what success looks like beyond just tactics. Right now, yes, you're developing your craft, but you also are developing your future relevance. Building relationships early is not about trying to get something. It's about becoming someone who others naturally want to support one day. When you work with senior staff or management, observe. When you interact with a community leader, show respect and interest. When you see a teammate or leader who does things right, emulate it. The foundation you build now becomes the voice that speaks for you later. Study leadership beyond your immediate organization. Listen more than you speak. Be the person people can depend on, and the one who learns and grows without needing attention for it. Humility now becomes influence later, and influence later becomes opportunity. Right now, it's not about asking for help. You're learning future advocacy by the way you carry yourself today. Because if you build your identity on competence, being intentional, and with character now, you'll never have to seek credibility later. It will already be following you into whatever comes next. Okay, let's wrap this up. There's a strange moment that happens in our careers. It doesn't show up with fanfare. It doesn't show up with ceremony or horns blaring. It slips in quietly. One day you wake up and notice you're seeing the world a little differently. Not because you're stepping away yet, but because you finally understand that the uniform will not always be part of you. The mission will change, but not your daily rhythm. And whether that thought excites you, unsettles you, or sits somewhere in between, it's real. Eventually, your life will stretch beyond the operations and the missions, beyond the formations, beyond radio calls and station alarms. The day will come when the world no longer knows your story just by looking at you or the uniform. You'll have to help it remember. And when transition moves from someday to today, the names willing to stand beside yours will matter. They'll shape your momentum. They'll open doors. They'll shift conversations and help carry your reputation forward into your next mission when it's time to turn a contact from mentor to advocate. If you've stayed until this point, thank you. Staying until the end helps engagement ratings. Please let me know any comments you have. What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what's missing for you. Reach out on social media or send me an email. The links are in the show notes. Another ask, please share the podcast with anyone you think could benefit from and enjoy it. And last, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.